Bitcoin and the US dollar are absolutely going insane right now. We have Pokemon NFTs that I have extreme FOMO with, so we're going to dig in, see what Pokemon came out with, and we also are going to be taking a deep dive into what might be a top performing DeFi project, the next bull market. All this and more on Blockchain Basement. Let's go.
Bum, 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 bum. You ready for this? I'm ready. Welcome.
If you're gonna screw me, at least pull my hair.
Hell yeah. What you got?
They could start chopping off fingers. They're like, give me your seed phrase, but I don't know it.
Out to give the numbers out. And I was like, no, hang up the phone right now.
Or like when it dropped in 2020, was it like exciting?
400,000 to 600,000. The generational signals are now.
Level. So I don't even know if we're gonna get back below there, but if we do, that's kind of where we
Did they find who shot Tupac? Finally, is this real? Hannah, we're going to dig into this later on in the show. Welcome one, welcome all. You're going to have to verify this right here and now if it's guaranteed. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's a Friday. It's a wonderful Friday. Veteran Crypto, Deadwood, what's up? Deucey Does Crypto. and C90FTW all up in there. Great to see all the OG members joining us here today. The basement chat is the superior chat in the world. So crypto is looking pretty fun. We're going to be looking at some charts today and a DeFi project, which we've been looking at for a little bit of time, but we're going to actually dig into what it does, what its use case is, and why it actually might have an upper leg above other DeFi protocols as we see things heating back up in the market. Some breaking news came out today, just first thing this morning. Three Arrows Capital co-founder Suzu apprehended in Singapore. Statement coming out from the BBG. Obviously, this is breaking news. We're going to find out more on this subject. Can
we scroll up?
Scroll up. Oh, you want to see that little fella? Find out he did.
It would have been better if it just said around he fucked.
That's kind of what happens, F about and find out, right? Kind of interesting, just on the side note, he really must have been doing some naughty in crypto if he was apprehended by Singapore authorities, because Singapore is pretty open on the crypto regulation. Like they're all for crypto, so he must have been doing some actual fraud, some naughties in the background. Got to be a little bit more to that. I'll be paying attention to that story as it unfolds. And then also SEC just, oh God, what is that? What is that, spicy? That thing looks so red
It's
on
not
camera.
spicy.
It's not spicy?
I mean, maybe to you white people.
Yeah, true. That's true.
Chick-fil-A spicy is not spicy.
No. I like it with barbecue sauce. Dipped, like I
Do it right. It's barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce. Yeah.
Was that super bassy in your ears, Owen?
Yeah. Kind of interesting. The ETF for Valkyrie on Ethereum futures gets approved. SEC further delaying Wisdom Tree's spot Bitcoin ETF. We just see more of this. They don't want spot. They want to be able to have futures open only so they can arbitrage it down. Maybe they're following BJ's game plan of creating some losses before they open up the gates on that BlackRock ETF, because that's where the real action is going to happen at. For sure. So kind of interesting note there, just the dichotomy, like they're allowing these futures to come into play, which in my idea, that'd make the market more volatile. But then holding back spot, we just can't have nice things. Jesus. What
Is that a cough sneeze?
No, it's like a cough, sneeze, burp, everything.
Can we pour one out for the CCP?
Why is that?
Because
What
they
happened?
lost their inside woman, Danielle Feinstein.
Oh my
Can we elaborate? Elaborate.
Elaborate. She's a politician and was extremely corrupt. Like, look at every district that she's been ahead of in the past 30 years and like look at where they were and where they are now. Bottomless pit. Like, look at San Francisco. That was her district. But yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if she was charged, but apparently she basically like had Chinese spies in our government for over 20 years, and people are like, meh, whatever. Here, we'll just give her hundreds of millions of dollars. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Well, and her daughter had power of attorney over her at the end of her reign there. That was kind of awkward. She's like 90 years old, and her daughter had power of attorney, yet she's still sitting in her political seat. A little uncomfortable. I'm glad she's on to newer pastures. If they're red or green, I don't know. But, she's gone. I don't wish that on anyone, so don't want to get too crazy. But yeah, probably should have let her retire and enjoy her elder years about 20 or 30 years ago. Just an idea. So this came out, I think this is from Crypto. Bankruptcy filings are moving up in the recent weeks. This is just overall weekly bankruptcy filings, just moving up a little bit. We had a good spike during flu season. Last spike was obviously the recession. I don't understand how he's painting this like I can understand. Okay, so Bitcoin, this means it's shopping time. I just want to highlight this because this is a valid graph. But then equating it to that, it's just clearly shopping time on Bitcoin, a little bit of a stretch. But you can expect to see bankruptcies continuing. I don't think that in general, the market is as resilient as the Fed is making it out to be. They say that jobs numbers are great. It's just because there's people that are working 3 jobs to stay above water. So there's just kind of arbitrage data that they're dealing with in general. So I wouldn't use that metric. I just wanted to kind of, highlight the bankruptcies filings are actually spiking once again. And a little FUD against crypto is coming out from the CFTC. Remember, the CFTC is someone that I've been warning about because of Rostin Benham for quite some time. As we all look for a ally outside of the SEC, it's easy to fall into the hands of the devil you don't know. And I feel like that's the kind of what we're finding with the CFTC. A new U.S. bill is being proposed that will require firms to report all off-chain transactions to the CFTC. Kind of a big deal. I don't think that it's too far into
So we're
process.
gonna know how much money the government spends?
No, that's not part of the deal.
But it said all off chain.
No, not those type of off-chain.
No, I know.
Yeah, they're off the Richter scales. U.S. Representative Don Bear introduced an off-chain digital commodity transaction reporting act requiring trading platforms to report all transactions to a repository registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Interesting thought. Okay, so we don't get any privacy. The ones above us get all the privacy. Yet all off-chain transactions need to be reported to an agency whose sole focus is making sure that dirty little humans don't dirty up the atmosphere anymore. With the tagline of being Financial Oversight Committee, it just kind of gets a little bit weird. And if they really cared about, finding out all of the data for an economy to operate correctly, you would think that they would be listening to people like Elon Musk, who is down at the border currently and actually reporting on the absolute.
Eventually, Owen will take the shot.
No, I don't want to. Here we go. Oh, well, here's Europe's problem. Europe is finally realizing their mass immigration is destroying the country. But we also, I want to go, oh yeah, here's DZ on Discover Crypto. We got a new Discover Crypto channel. Go sure make sure you check it out at Discover Crypto _.
If anyone thinks we don't have sponsors, look at that swag. We
I know, dude. I mean,
do.
he's dripping.
Swear.
Let's see, I'm rolling here. Oh yeah, this is a good post. We like Bored Ape here at the blockchain basement.
You know what that is a logo of, though?
What's that?
It is Snoop Dogg's Dr. Bombay ice cream brand.
Is it really?
Yeah, and if you go to Walmart, you could buy it right now.
Oh,
Okay, that's very
They were even
interesting.
at what was it, Wiz Khalifa concert. They were a vendor there.
Really?
So he's definitely doing a good job, and yeah, sending it to Kim Kardashian. She put it on her story. She's probably one of the most famous people in the world. So
Unfortunately,
I think the Bored Ape Yacht Club price went up like 1 ETH.
Did it really?
Since that post? Yeah.
when we live in a society that Kim Kardashian is more famous than Shinya Yamanaka, you know it's the end of days.
Oh yeah. Well, and the fact that
That's the founder of induced pluripotent stem cells. By
we
the
are
way.
knowingly ignoring like a humanity crisis on our border right now. There's absolute atrocities happening to the people that are crossing the border in the manner that they're being told to cross, and Elon is down there covering it all. So,
And aren't the Democrats like freaking out?
yeah, absolutely. He's in
exposing
control.
them.
Yes, he's exposing them, and he used to be on almost like the liberal media side, right? There was a point where Elon kind of flipped and really, kind of went ham on getting red pilled at some point along the way. And it's just been nice to see that he has the platform and the ability to really call this out, because, something needs to be said for not being able to honestly understand how many people are registered in your workforce, how much taxes you could expect back from that workforce, how many people you need to provide money for government programs and assistance for. So not having an honest bellwether about that really leaves you driving blind down the highway at 100 miles an hour with the debt situation that the U.S. is in. So I think that understanding that fiscal bellwether is going to be super important to even getting any sort of control about the situation. But other news here. So we had US dollar outperforming G20 fiat currencies. What about Bitcoin? We got, despite going through one of the worst inflations of all time, the US dollar has outperformed 115 global fiat currencies in the last 10 years in the Forex market. We got massively outperformed by Bitcoin, of course, because that's what we do.
Yeah, what are those 150? Like Uganda, the People's Former Republic of Walmart Congo,
the Galapagos Island.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, there's what? It's not 230 countries. How many? It's somewhere around there. But so, what are the big countries we're not beating?
I think. Well, go ahead.
No, I mean, I think that the U.S. dollar is still beating majority of the world. I don't think that, because Russia's ruble has fallen, the Chinese economy and its yuan is fallen, so they're not doing well. Actually, I think that there's would be pretty accurate to say that we're still dominating. Just doesn't feel like it because we got inflation. Owen, I'm going to throw something at you.
You won't, but I will.
I might.
You know what that tells me though? That that stat about it pretty much surpassing or growing more than those other currencies is the need for Bitcoin. You got to be able to store your money in an asset that is appreciating.
Oh my God. Well, among the 5 worst performers, which lost over 92% of their purchasing power related to the US dollar, 2 of them belong to G20 countries, supposedly the top 20 GDP producing countries in the world. The Argentinian peso, I am speaking and do not want that. ARS lost 98.3% against the dollar, while the Turkish lira, TRY, lost 92.6%. Basically, interesting, the US dollar lost 99.5% of its value against Bitcoin from September 2013 to current prices. But obviously, Bitcoin's just been absolutely crushing it in comparison to everything, so I don't think that's very fair. These losses are even higher than what the second worst fiat currency performer got against the US dollar, according to this chart, which intensifies the purchasing power lost by most of national fiat currencies in the world against BTC. So just more Bitcoin winning, just cannot stop winning. And I feel really strongly that people in Turkey and the stories that come out of, Venezuela or all these other hyperinflationary situations are really going to come out in nice documentary form and hit mainstream media in a way that is an emotionally connecting and impactful way to people across the world. Because even if you only have 50% inflation, it still really affected your life. And then you see a story about someone that had 100% inflation and their kids couldn't eat, then that really makes the situation very well understood for the average person. So I like highlighting things like that. CFTC just looking for more control. Let's see what else we got here. So the Bank of Japan, more unscheduled bond buying operations kicked off overnight. Bank of Japan is to buy 300 billion yen of the 5 to 10 year Japanese government bonds. This is just more, repurchasing, making sure that their bond and fiat currencies try to keep up with inflation. But I think it's a losing battle. I don't think they're going to be getting very far with it. It's just a matter of right now, I was thinking about it on lunch and we just printed 80% of all currency ever in circulation over the last 3 years. I talk about the 3 pillars of quantitative easing a lot. You have the Fed printing, you have Treasury repos, and now you have a bank term funding program. I think the cooked option that is no longer available, I'm thinking this is accurate. They cannot print. They just printed 80%. They can't publicly print again at the rate that they have. I don't think that that's reasonable to think that they would do that. The Treasury repos already been going, kind of not working. And the bank term funding program, it's a third world country meant for program that is bailing out a first world country's banking collapse. So it's going to be out of funds soon. I don't think they're going to have an election. I think they're going to shut our elections down. I know this is it's
a bit of a leap. I'm not saying you're wrong.
I agree with that because it's very strange that Biden is not campaigning. Is he super confident he's going to win?
He's super confident.
Or is there not going to be even be an election?
He's not
so he doesn't
about
have
an
to waste his time.
I want to sit here and say you are just absolutely smoking something that I want. But is he really not campaigning?
Yeah,
he's not doing. He's like, yeah, I'm going to run, Jack, and then he just walks off and asks some little girl for ice cream or whatever, and makes another publicity nightmare for his campaigners to deal with.
Absolutely an anomaly. Like an incumbent has never not
right
campung.
Right.
Is that the future tense?
Campung. That should be the future tense of campaigning.
So what do you guys think is going to happen?
All right. Here's what I think.
That's a little fishy.
Okay. This might break the 4-year cycle, by the way. This theory.
What, of presidency?
So if we don't have an election at the end of 2024, after the Bitcoin halving, then civil unrest, then the escalation with China. It's an out there theory, but just seeing how I see America printing 80% of its currency, knowing the whole world sees it, knowing the whole world sees that they're effed. And so America knows that they know.
Well,
They can't print themselves out of it. The last time we had to reset the currency system in general, it took a world war to do. And it ended up with a meeting called Bretton Woods, where the winner was decided as who's the world reserve currency at the time. The Dems, I feel like, are just going to let Kamala take it and let the civil unrest kick off after Kamala's
Well,
in
that's
control.
what I was going to say. Is like, you say he's not running. Well, maybe like they
just push him aside. It's an emergency.
Yeah, well, no, not that. They're going to put somebody else and just assume they're not going to waste the man and or woman or they power.
No, they'll kick off an emergency. The emergency. They can use the emergency as the reason to not have
What's
the
the
election.
act that they could do that? I'm not denying. I'm just interested.
If we have like no power and our phones aren't working or something, like what?
No, it's China and Taiwan.
Well, what
It's-
I'm getting at is like Canada had emergency acts that they were able to invoke to basically do martial law. What is our equivalent of that? I'm sure they exist. I just don't know what they are.
Yeah, I mean, what would cause an emergency act within our White House? To
What legislature currently exists that they could basically enact upon?
just executive order emergency powers. That's
it?
how.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all they do. And so the thought there is that if they kick off this conflict and keep prodding China and this Taiwan situation, not have an election, that would completely throw off the 4-year cycle because we'd be after the halving. Everyone will expect that they are past that point of worry about a big black swan. And it might actually be one of the best buying opportunities we see for a very, very long time. I'm just throwing it out there as a potential because...
What are you buying with then?
Oh, God. I mean, if I saw...
I'm just saying, if your thesis holds true, what are you buying with? Cattle?
Well,
Gold?
in that situation, what I'd be
Food.
buying? I'd be buying... I mean, I already have,
What are you using to buy with, is what I'm getting at.
Your plants and your chickens and your water.
What, in civil unrest, what do you buy things with?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I mean, no. You know what? You have to...
Cloth.
Yeah, you have to learn how to trade and barter and have skills. Skills are going to be what pays the bills, and they always have been. It's just a matter of, how in our current society, you can do very little and make a livable wage. In that type of situation, you'd have to be digging into your specialty or become obsessive and learn something and make that
Yeah, I
your
don't like
trade.
the idea of like complacency. Like, I know we're going to diverge here for a second, but like content creators, for example, like ones that literally don't do shit. Like, I'm going to call her out, the NPC girl. Like, look, absolute kudos to figuring out a market and a way to do something. Like, not demeaning that at all.
Oh,
like
the ice cream thing?
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, you broke the game, and hell yeah, more power to you. But that doesn't deserve to make the money she did. Like, the system they're in.
Yo,
Like, you literally have artisans that can barely pay for anything, and they are actually providing a phenomenal craft. So, like, I don't hate the idea of going back to a pseudo barter system and people specializing and actually becoming good at something.
it's almost like we, I mean, don't quote me here, but like it's almost like we need a little reset because it
That's
seems
what
like
I'm
a lot
talking
of,
Whoa,
a lot of.
chill out over
We
there, Klaus.
don't.
Look, Klaus
but-
Schwab, chill out.
Klaus Schwab's in his mind, he's like, it's for the greater good because there's a lot of saturation and a lot of things that just aren't quality anymore, and people are taking everything for granted. It's like, what would happen if you guys couldn't wake up and scroll on your phone and connect with everything, and you didn't have reset
I'd probably play a lot more
access
bass
to everything that
during
you
the
do
day.
right now? Like,
It's just a potential. I mean, I just
Play
had
more
this random
golf.
thought, like, because I have some inside sources, and a lot of people have been kind of talking to me in my life about a civil unrest situation. What we saw in COVID was not a civil unrest situation. It just kind
should
of
have been.
it should have been, but it wasn't, and it's basically just laid
People
the
understood
groundwork.
their microbiology, it would have been.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just warning. I see some really weird, because I feel like they've ran out of options in the printing because they've printed 80% in the last 2 years. That M2 money supply graph is all over the place. People know. Maybe they could just strong arm and print more, but I mean, it's going to be well seen by the rest of the markets. It's something I'm going to be continuing to research and dig into more with my sources. But I just warn.
You know that first graph you showed from Crypto
Yeah.
showed all like the bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm.
It almost tells me that like, what was it, like the 2008 was the previous one? Is that right?
Which
If you have that chart, can you bring it up?
No, I
For the
closed
bankruptcies?
it. The
Yeah,
bankruptcy
anyway.
was 2008, 2020, and then now.
So, I mean, I just kind of using some of my knowledge. I feel like all those bankruptcies took place because there was a lot of people that got all that stimulus money. They created businesses and they failed. So I feel like if they print more money, do the same thing, that's all going to repeat again, and it's just going to be a faster process. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it's a compounding situation, though. And I just think that the print would be too closely put next to each other. They can't print that amount that close to each other. I mean, you can't create 80% in 3 years and then create another 80% the next 3 years. Like,
you can't.
I mean, you can,
but you shouldn't.
You shouldn't. That's when we would have the $300
So how do we
barrel.
actually fix this? Do we figure out some product that the U.S. produces that raises our GDP? Like,
We should be
Raytheon.
self-sustaining, in my opinion.
well, the problem is exactly what you said. You're unfortunately very correct, Drew.
Yeah, it's Raytheon.
Yeah.
It's Leidos, Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, Ball. Those are all traditional stock companies that
Of how
crush
we
it.
make money. Yeah.
I'm just being honest. And then oil, right? If this
But
happens,
worry about
oil's
your
going to
carbon footprint.
Yeah, oil is probably going to actually hit $300 a barrel if they do print again. How much they printed now in this current situation? Oil should honestly be around $200 a barrel. It's not. It's below 100. They've doubled the money supply, yet the oil is still under $100. Okay, simple stuff. Then if they print another 80%, do the same process, your oil could easily realize its actual value because the dollar is very unvaluable at that point, and then actually hit $300 a barrel. Thus, your goods at the grocery store exponentially increase, and you do end up in a Venezuela-style inflation situation. It's a possibility. Now, even though it's a possibility of everything that I'm talking about, I don't think it's a probability. I think that they simply will go to war. And I know that's not a popular opinion, but that's kind of what's happening.
I mean, what was before Bretton Woods happened?
World War II.
Oh, geez. It's like there was a correlation there. Yeah.
just,
So
you know,
if you're talking about CDBCs not being able to rehypothecate, our bond market being screwed, quantitative easing is not the option. Quantitative tightening, we've never really truly done before. Your only option is the good old war.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Good old war.
That's kind of what I'm thinking here. I go
hence
sitting there eating
Raytheon.
lunch.
So
There you go.
Are we going to get nuked?
Oh, God, don't go there.
And then we're all going to have fireside chats and we'll listen to
No.
our little radio stations.
there more than likely will not be nukes
Yeah.
because they are not profitable.
Who
When you-
wants to own a pile of rubble that's radioactive? You need land to produce things for you.
Y'all ever seen Ready Player One?
Yeah, they're monsters,
TV
but they
show.
still want to make money.
The movie.
Yeah, they want to make money. They're in it for the money, and that's why we're here too. So I'm just warning about this to have some dry powder on the sidelines through 2024. It's going to be a feisty election. You might get that actual black swan event, and by God, that was one of the juiciest buying times and buying opportunities for me in
Speaking
2020.
of buying opportunities, should we invest in Bitcoin ATMs? Like if KYC and all these exchanges are going to start becoming a problem soon, which I know I somewhat diverted there. That's how I originally got into crypto. And
Yeah.
it's like, that's something very easy. You put money in, you scan your phone, it goes to the wallet.
Yeah, I mean it might be.
And then
It
the
might
person
be.
that owns the Bitcoin ATM gets a little commission.
Oh, not a little.
They scare
they-
me.
Remember
They
when
get
we went to the
90%
shop
of
the
it.
other day? and
They overcharge so.
Oh,
What is-
so guess what Bitcoin was at the machine 2 weeks ago?
It was
30K. 30K.
Wasn't it 34 or 35?
Wow.
No, no.
In the machine. No, it was.
Oh yeah, in the machine it was
Yeah.
35K.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Bitcoin was like, let's see here,
Needs
because
a
me and you,
Chainlink node
I was
so
with
it
you.
could hook up.
Are
and
the
get
Bitcoin
that
ATMs
proper
all-
API?
What's that?
Like, are they safe? Is there like a security risk?
No, you put your money in it and it goes from point A to point B. The
The
only
one-
risk is you're getting super overcharged.
The ones at the gas stations and the
You're
vape
just
shops
getting
and
super
the strip
overcharged. That's all
clubs.
that's happening.
Yeah,
Like that's literally all that's happening.
majorly overcharged. So
They're scary.
But I kind of trust them more than centralized exchanges.
yeah, I'll stop ranting about the potential black swan, but I'm just warning: have some dry powder on the back end.
I mean,
in
it's
case.
relevant if
It's
we're
relevant.
talking about that with the price, with
Right.
the ETFs. Where's Bitcoin going to go?
Right.
Where are we going next year into the halving? Like it's all these things are lining up.
And other things that we obviously do. I'd look at a lot of up and coming crypto projects. We made a call for MakerDAO about a month ago. It's been crushing it. I just wanted to highlight This thing's actually absolutely surged since I was bringing it up. This is from Sentiment. Maker's price has now surged up 40% in the last 16 days, with the active addresses hitting a 10-week high in tandem as the asset crossed $1,500. An inflow of Maker moving to exchanges is something to be cautious of for at least a local top. Just signaling, let's take a look at the actual chart here, just signaling that a lot of people moved their stuff back onto the exchanges. You might be looking at a nice little correction, a little breathing room, which there it is. Boom. So exchanges got hit with a little extra Maker. It's correcting now. Let's back up. God, that thing just ran. God, you guys should listen to me the first time I say things. Let's see here. Yeah, God.
We're like your children. We never listen.
What does Maker do again? I forgot. Is it like Aave?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to look back at it again, but I mean, last time I looked, God, where's the explanation about this thing?
I think it's under your window.
There's a reason why. There's a reason why I liked this. It was because no, I remember why I liked it. Because they were hooking up with Chainlink and for the data, for just the data oracle of Chainlink, and so a friend of Chainlink is a friend of Drew. So looked into the project. I was looking around $1,000. Now it's at $1,500. Probably will have to wait on an entry point in this little juicy one. Oh, God, unless we're off to the races. But
is it like YFI?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Yes. YFI, what a chart. Do you remember Yearn Finance last? Let's just do a shout out to Yearn Finance real quick.
Yeah.
This thing was
the only
nuts
coin
last
that was
cycle.
more expensive than Bitcoin.
For real. That thing hit
But
like
obviously
100.
it's because of the supply of the coins.
Look at this. This thing got up to like it was like 90 something $1,000. This stupid cursor won't go in. Let's go to the real good time. This is when
real quick, for being like Binance's like coin market cap is owned by Binance, they should do a better job at like
this is
being
awful.
able to operate the chart.
I don't give a damn what people are saying on this side. Like this drives me nuts. I know some people are like, oh, it's socials and stuff. This is all bots. It's all scams.
100%.
And every girl on Twitter is a dude.
Hold on.
Okay. I mean, Hannah's not a dude. I'll say that. You know, it just there's so many like catfish accounts.
Oh shit!
What?
First off, Randy's back in chat. Second off, fucking chemistry, bro.
Oh,
where have you been, boo?
yeah.
Jimmy.
What up? What up, chemistry, bro? Yeah. So MakerDAO, I'd probably be holding off a little bit until we get a cool off. I'm not getting into it until we get like 900 to 1,000 is kind of my buy point on this particular one. But I feel good about it. It's been around for a while and it's holding on strong. Here's just Chainlink highlighting whales have purchased 7.5 million Link in the last 2 weeks, worth around $53 million. Now, okay, so we bought a lot of Link. Things are going great for Link, but I will say that I don't know if I have the link up here, but pull up this computer on this side.
Fat
Switching
finger.
computers on him, getting fancy. It's not there. Oh, well, sad. Link is basically what I'm looking at is for it has definite potential to hit the 850 mark. I don't think it's going to slow. It'll probably have some chop and then keep ripping a little bit up to 850, but I wouldn't expect it to be just off to the races from here. Every time that Chainlink has busted into like the 820, 850 range, Bitcoin has crashed. It's a really weird correlation. And on that end, it's let's see here. I'm pulling up VMix for him right now. But anyways, I don't think that Chainlink is done yet, but the bandwidth on kind of the channel it's in right now is running out of gas. So I would be looking for a return back to that $5.50, maybe $6 range to get into Chainlink. Right now, you can see it's absolutely ripping. There's been tons of publications out about it.
Look at that accumulation zone.
No, that's
so crazy, man. I think I posted in like the altcoin arcade in the basement Discord. I was like, is this the easiest crypto to trade?
Literally.
I mean, buy at the bottom, sell at the top, and repeat. It's been doing the same thing for almost a year now.
Yeah, we'll show that. I got my other VMix open for you guys to find here.
Did you close it and reopen it?
Yeah, I'll reopen it for you here though. VMix desktop. hit network. Yep. I'll try to open this one more time. This really shows it good. That's why I'm trying to get this shown on my actual computer. I'm going to be trying to bring my actual charts that I work off of onto the show more often. So, keep in mind I'm a hillbilly trader, but here we go. So this is the channel it's been trapped within that I've been operating off of basically, for a while now, almost like a year. But you can see it just punches up, gets a little bit above that line, and then punches back down. But each single one of these punches above into this 850 range, 870, has ended up with a subsequent crash in Bitcoin. It's really crazy I had them overlaid on another graph, but essentially those markings line up with right here, with right here, with right here. So definitely watching that. And then this is just Bitcoin, just a quick look at what I'm working off of here. So this is kind of my line in the sand where I'm feeling good at. I think we're going to hold the 25-1 spot and move on up from there. This is the new trend line I'm working off of. So basically, I'm just going to try to integrate those a little bit more. Don't expect me to do a bunch of Fibonacci and double back helix flips for you. But I will be hard-sided on my opinion on where things are going up or down. So.
I like how you bringed up Bitcoin versus Chainlink.
Bitcoin,
get it right.
Brung up.
Brung up.
Whatever.
You brought it up. Anyway, I believe that the Bitcoin Chainlink chart link is actually broken out of like a multi-month, maybe even a year now trend.
Yes, it has.
I wonder if you could bring that up and show the viewing
let me
audience.
see if I can find that here. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it on this computer. Let me see. That's gonna be a tough one, but it has. I showed that last week. It was like right on that line, and it did break out of the Bitcoin to Chainlink chart. But before we get too far in the weeds, I'm gonna get completely side railed here because there's a project I really wanted to focus on today. And that project is Libra Finance. I wanted to see this project pull back. Johnny has been talking to me about it for some time. And, let's see here. Go over to this is a pretty new project in general. So this is its whole life cycle. Maybe get my face out of the way so we can see this whole screen here. So this is its whole life cycle. It's only up by like 300% since its launch. Which makes me feel good about not completely missing the boat. One thing about this that you'll know just right out of the gate, not much self-reported circulating supply listed on the coin market cap. But if you go in here, dig in a little bit deeper, the LBR market capitalization is right around 16 mil. The LBR price is right at $1.07. This is the price compared to the volume. Huge spike in volume recently. The activity on this staking platform, it's liquid staking derivatives. It's just absolutely.
It's LSD?
Yeah, I think so. Let me see here. I'll go into this.
Limited slip differential?
Let's see. Let's look into it. Let's look into it. This is Libra Finance, the actual website unleashing the utility of LST in DeFi. Interest-bearing stablecoin backed by LST with an APY about 5.75%. So not too crazy, not making me sweat when I'm looking at high yields. Where is it coming from? I think 5% is kind of around where I want to stay for the safety aspect. Step one, you deposit. So what you do is deposit Ethereum or LST as collateral.
Step two, steal underpants.
Stealing underpants. And then step 2.5 is minting EUSD/PUSD, and then you can use that against your collateral. Step 3, earn interest up to 8%. So it can get a little spicy in places, but spending it, you can convert the EUSD to PEUSD and use it in DeFi protocols while still earning the underlying interest on the deposit collateral. That's the thing.
Is cool.
That's juicy, right?
That's very juicy.
That's a little that's why I was like, oh yeah, okay. This is,
would that juice be worth the squez?
Oh god, my computer might die soon. Look at that.
Mine.
Oh my god. So yeah, I mean it has a good security model to it, very over collateralized, which I also like to see. They maintain through a combination of over collateralization, liquidation mechanisms, and arbitrage.
Real quick, I would agree that this is some of the most kind of mind fuckery in crypto, where you go from one coin to a derivative of another coin, and then you stake that coin to get a yield on another coin. it could be a lot. So I mean, definitely do
It's
a lot of
rehypothecation.
exactly.
Like
I
it
mean,
is.
although we get it like the back of our hand. What the hell? So I mean, it's just I recommend definitely doing a lot of research because impermanent loss is a thing. So you want to make sure you're avoiding that, and just be cautious with all of these very very difficult. Turning cryptos into another form of the same crypto, and it gets complicated.
We should do a
Or just
tutorial.
buying stake ADA.
You can do that. I'm
It's
going to do that
honestly
too.
perfectly fine.
I'm going to do that too. But trust me, I'm going to get this Libra.
This seems interesting.
It does,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
I don't
There's
think
more.
it's long. I don't like it long term,
Right.
but
Right.
grab it while it's good.
Right, and that's kind of in my mindset about God. We might have another Black Swan event. I could be in and out of some of these DeFi plays before that happens.
Treat it like prom night. In
right,
and out.
in and out. So obviously it's interest bearing. Brought up that already, up to 8%. Zero mining costs, but this is the big thing for me. Layer 0 omni-chain integration, launching an omni-chain made easy with Layer 0. The implementation will be powered by Layer 0's omni-chain fungible token OFT standard. And I'm going to be paying attention to every single project that has been working into this compatibility. I think that Layer 0 is going to be massive. This enables the creation of PEUSD, an omni-chain version of EUSD, and the approach eliminates the requirement for a EUSD liquidity pool on each supported chain, as well as the complexities of bridging and wrapping procedures and the associated transaction fees there within. Consequently, the cost-effective, technically efficient implementation allows it to integrate free omni-chain functionality into its interest-bearing stablecoin offering. So I think just in general, I love seeing the Layer 0 integration making it a little bit easier. As Taco was saying, things can get real messy when you're swapping and doing all these things. So to make it more user-friendly is pretty damn bullish. So one thing I wanted to make note, I have a plan for this thing. If you go to DeFi Llama, here's total value locked, but this graph of total value locked is the main chart, and then you have the unlocks is this pretty consistent line, but you see it has a little uptick there. So I'm watching the unlock time frame, and in general, I think it's probably undervalued as it sits, right? So getting in right now is not a horrible time, but I like leveraging the gains by getting in the blood. So I'm looking for when things are going to go wrong on this token for a moment to get in at a good buying opportunity. And I want to bring up, I have so many things on this unlock event is coming up October 23rd. Okay. And the unlocking event is kind of interesting. So I think I had it on DeFi Llama somewhere here. I think it's in the bottom. Let me see. Unlocks. There
Chemistry,
it is.
bro. How did you lose your MetaMask account? Did it get hacked and you submitted a transaction and you got drained? I'd like to know.
What? Someone in the chat got their MetaMask account hacked?
He's done a lot of farming for the Layer 0 airdrop, and he said he lost his MetaMask account.
Or it could have been potentially didn't know where the seed phrase was and something happened to the computer.
Oh boy.
Or deleting cookies or deleting extensions.
That's not good.
Yeah.
That does not spark joy. Be very, very meticulous.
Someone in the chat wants to
when you
know what
do
my
this.
hat says. It says buy Bitcoin in Japanese.
Does it?
Does it really? Let me see. Zoom in on this.
Well, the first is what, bow? Because it's toe, but it's modified, which I think is bow.
Okay. Pow. Taco's like
Bow, it's not ka.
it's like starting the day with a Bloody Mary in the middle of a tropical forest or something. Look at that.
I'm just kidding. It says
Yeah.
pink dolphin.
I know the last one, the character is ka. My katakana is trash.
Jesus. Back to the game plan. We're staying focused. Libra, when? When unlock, when blood, when am I going to buy? So I'm looking at the vesting schedule. Pull up the chart here. Ewin, we got DeFi Llama.
Did you just sneak in an uwu?
Owen.
Oh, yeah, you did.
So look at this. This is the interesting part. So Jesus, Murphy, Mary, and Joseph. All right. Yeah, this one. So this is the team. The blue part is the team of this token unlock. They're going to be starting to be able to dump their tokens beginning this next unlock. This next unlock is the first exposure the team's going to be having to their portion of the tokens. So keeping that in mind, it is my inclination to wait until the unlock happens and probably until Halloween. I'll wait until the weekend of Halloween to see how much the price actually did end up dipping for Libra, and then we'll be in this project now.
Well, don't forget the advisors. Hold on that.
Yeah.
Just pop up so the advisors get to dump at the same time.
Right.
The IDO.
And those guys are here.
So
That's
where are like outside buyers?
Let's see.
Anyone can outside buy, right?
Well,
'Cause
in that chart.
Let's
Because they wouldn't be an advisors, they wouldn't be an LP, they wouldn't be an IDO, they wouldn't be the treasury.
Definitely wouldn't be this is probably everything outside of what's on the open market.
It's probably it's the vesting schedule for the TGE, and then it's cliff after it's.
But so that pie chart shows everything but what I want to know.
Mhm.
I want to see all of that versus what outsiders could buy.
Yeah,
that's the
which
thing.
is not in that chart.
I don't think it's ever included in those charts.
No, they definitely are. Like the Masari charts, when people are looking at, there was a great chart that showed like the difference between like ETH, Bitcoin, Cardano, and all the other ones. And Cardano was like one of the largest ones that public allocation was the largest section.
Interesting.
Tezos
was up in there and a bunch of other ones, but
yeah, and it's circulating supply. We're sitting at 6.9 million.
Nice.
Total supply is at 15 million, and the max supply is going to be 100 million tokens in total. So really not that many tokens to go around on this one. I'm probably going to have to get some exposure to this, not a whole huge gigantic chunk of my portfolio, but this looks like a shaker and a mover. Started off working mostly with Lido, got a great kind of foothold in.
I'm out.
You think Kobe has anything to do with it then?
Kobe? Maybe. I don't know. We'd have to look into that.
And then my next question was, is it on Ethereum?
You just said Lido, so
that's okay.
Yeah. Well, that's what started. Now it's going to be using layer 0, but yes, everything that is immediately available is on Mantle.
I have no trust for Lido.
It's moving out to Mantle,
Neither does
Arbitrum,
Volatile.
and Pendle as well. So it's kind of a polycule of ETH staking that I'm sure you fall in love with every day at night, don't you, VJ? VJ loves Ethereum.
I feel like Lido is like the poor man's staking, because if you had 32 ETH, you would just run your own node. And if you have under 32 ETH, let's put it in Lido and get 3 to 5%.
And centralize the system. Yay! The antithesis of proof of stake.
I screamed this morning on the live stream that Cardano is the last chance for proof of stake.
And there's still problems there.
Like
I still have issues with Cardano's proof of stake and the way a lot of this stuff works. But like, I think it's the closest thing that we have.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh my goodness.
I love that headband.
There's a little
Do you want me to
nugget.
move so you can sit?
Oh my goodness. Oh my
there
goodness.
she is.
A little review.
What a cutie. What a
Make some
cutie.
room on the couch for ya.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the bottom one.
Yeah.
There's the little
Looks
baby.
like a princess.
Nice.
Oh my god.
What a nugget. What
The
a nugget.
headband is adorable.
She's
What a
so
cutie.
precious.
Yes,
Happy
happy Friday.
Friday.
What a cute nugget. Gosh. My kids are at the planetarium right now, so we're going to see how they go. I know. My wife sent me a picture. It has this big, gigantic screen. It looks all cool and high speed. But yeah.
Real quick. Any of you guys been to Ruby Falls in Georgia?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah,
took
my
the whole
friend's
family.
permanently banned for saying it was fake.
Really?
Is it?
It's not fake.
I mean,
not
they
fake.
make a decent amount of money. I guess.
I've heard rumors there's a pump in there, but it's beautiful and it's fun.
I've
and I
been in
recommend
the
going.
caves, Taco. You got to go in the caves.
Yeah.
I mean, I
That's
saw
where
it
Ruby
on
Falls
a
is.
video, and
Have you been
I
all the
wanna
way
go
to
now.
Ruby Falls?
Yeah.
I had a 1-year-old baby strapped to my chest. And my wife had another baby strapped to her chest. We took the other 2 kids with us. We went underground. How many feet is it underground? It's hundreds of feet.
Yeah.
It's hundreds of feet underground. It's apparently mined by a single man that just had a lot of fortitude, kept digging, and then got discovered. Ruby Falls is a very cool place to check
On a
out.
total side
It
note,
says it's 1,120 feet
1,100?
into
it's
the
Wow, the
Close
earth.
video
to
does
Georgia.
not do it
That's
justice.
how far down into the ground I went with my babies.
Yeah, wow.
but
It's a change of
C90
elevation.
FTW asks, would you be in favor of allowing delegators to let their SPO vote for them in Catalyst? I initially want to say no, because the entire point of the system is for it to be democratic and for you to be voting on your own. I please clarify that, because I think I'm misinterpreting what you're asking, but I don't. Why would you want that? Like, I rather, as a delegator, actually, let's remove that. Myself as a ADA holder want to be able to do my own vote. Unless there's a subsidiary thing where it's almost like an electoral college where like everybody can vote and then the SPOs vote, and maybe the SPOs have a larger weight in that overall vote. But I definitely hate that idea.
Did you guys see what happened to New York this weekend, or just like over the last
flooding
night?
right now.
Look at this. So there's a flood happening in New York City right now.
Yeah, I need to call my sister.
Is she up there in New York?
My sister's living in Manhattan forever.
Oh, great.
Okay, I
You
have
better check
something
on her.
interesting about this. Do you guys remember last week when they were posting videos like this of Atlanta, like ATL Scoop on like Instagram?
Yeah.
They were posting videos like this of Northside Atlanta, and they were like, Atlanta's underwater, like Northside, there's a lot of flooding. And my mom texted me and was like, are you okay? Are y'all underwater? And I was like, no, like, we're fine.
Well,
Like,
that's what I was
I mean,
wondering.
there
Like,
was
that's-
one exit by my apartment that was like, there was some water, but like
So
only in
23rd
certain
is like
areas.
halfway between Central Park and then the the Wall Street area. I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right.
I'm not sure what
this
to call
is
that area.
Long Island and let's see, it's saying Long Island. Where did it hit? City officials. It's hard to tell because I was wondering if it's affecting the Ripple Party. The Ripple Party's happening today.
Tonight.
Yeah, the Ripple
But isn't
Profit
that like
Party.
the Upper East Side?
I believe so. I'm not going in person. There's no way I'd be interested in going in person. But there's been a lot of speculation if they're going to release their IPO. I don't know. I don't think it's the right time to do it. They'd probably, like, I was thinking like maybe a month ago and stuff, but the market's just so flat. They'd probably be waiting for upward action to get in on that. There's probably still time to get in on the IPO. And I am going to be going to invest in Ripple. I'm going to be going through Linked 2.
Julio says New York rats are going to adapt into platypuses.
Perry, the platypus.
No.
There's going to be documentaries and be like, and now Darwinism in full effect.
Yeah, you can skip checking out the platypuses in person and just get access to Ripple and the IPO through our sponsor, Link 2. So we got a link in the description for them. Minimum investment, I believe, is still at $5K. Just a good way to get around, basically the bars and the guardrails that keep us away from investing in early opportunities like Chainalysis and Ripple. So yeah, I just want to bring that up in case you're skipping riding platypuses around New York City today. You still
Platypi.
get the access.
I
Platypi.
did not know it was Link 2. I thought it was La Quinto or something.
Oh, really?
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Yeah, Link to Ratty Pusses. Very nice, Sin Diesel. Very nice. So yeah, there's that. Now here's the deal. Pokemon. We came out. We talked about the Pokemon NFT. I've been talking about this for a while. It finally happened. It sold out insanely quick.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Yeah, but now they're for sale aftermarket. And here's where the fun begins. Right?
Wait, so this really is a tokenization of graded cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How?
So like look at them, it's like a 6, a 6.5.
Yeah. I mean, they got all kinds of types.
8.5.
If you go to the homepage real quick.
Okay.
There's got to be a 10 Charizard on
So
there.
that Grails that got away, if you click on that.
Let's see here.
At the top, yeah.
So this, I believe, was like 5-6 days ago. So it sold out in like 30 seconds. You see they're $300. If you visit Marketplace, I think they're up to like $450 now.
Are they really?
And-
Oh, my God. Oh, here we go.
Oh, so I guess the packs are now opening.
And you know what they are now.
Yeah, so I think this is amazing. I mean, if you're a collector of Pokemon cards or any kind of cards, you can go on this website, upload your card, and you could sell it if you want to.
How much is
You
a
could
Charizard?
tokenize my card.
How
But
much
do
is a
you
Charizard?
also own the physical card?
So what you can do is you can have it like
You burn the NFT and get the physical?
They hold it in a Brinks for you.
they
literally
hold it for you, and
Yeah.
if you want, you can redeem the physical version, or you can keep it like on the blockchain and you can sell it. It's very, very,
Dude.
very cool.
I am so bullish on this. I'm gonna have to get one. Like, this is so cool for me. They hold it for you in Brinks. My daughter is obsessed with. She wants a Charizard, but also she would settle for a Ninetales.
Now, did the Pokemon Company agree to this, or somebody else just did it?
I mean, they had to have agreed to it. They
No,
got
they
Pokemon
didn't.
TCG.
If I buy your card and I send it to Beckett to get graded, I own that. If I choose to tokenize that, I don't see how you have any involvement.
We should find that out.
Like that's
should
where
find
like
out
the
if they gave
secondary
that
market
permission.
gets really interesting with all of this stuff.
Right.
What
No,
I-
we should find that out.
What I believe they are doing it like two ways. Like you can see in the top right, you can do it yourself, or like they had like drops. They're gonna have more drops where it's like one card that is graded. You don't know what it is, so you buy it at like the mint price, like it was $300, and then within like 24 hours, you get to open it. After 48 hours, it'll auto reveal, and then they own it. You buy the rights to it, and you own the NFT on Polygon, which is awesome. And you can redeem it if you want, or you can put it up on their marketplace and sell it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a double-edged sword with it auto-revealing. For example,
That's
with,
not
like,
always going to be the
alpha,
case.
beta, and unlimited and older magic packs. Now you can do what's called pack searching because it was the packs
weight?
were white and you could actually slightly stair step the cards and you could see the rare and people would resell them. But say you have a pack of alpha and you crack that alpha pack and you get a gem rated 10 Black Lotus, you're looking at $700,000-$800,000.
Right.
So that unopened pack are worth, sometimes $30K because you could open that card. The second you open that pack and you're like, oh, my rare is a land,
tokenize your own cards.
you're wrecked. So if they eventually start selling the packs that are unopened,
They did.
but they stay unopened.
Bro, they can tokenize
Those
our
I would be
cards.
very.
If you
bullish
go
on.
back to that article, I believe that was the first one they did.
But you
It
need
was
to
like-
know what's potentially in there because the hype on what's potentially in there. But here's the problem is because everything's on chain. So for example, say there were only 1,400 Black Lotuses. Well, people don't know how many Black Lotuses have been opened. Therefore, that increases the price of that pack. But when everything's on chain, if it's a sealed pack and then you can look that X number have already been opened, you're better at gaming the system to see what's actually in that pack and then being able to see what the actual value of that pack is. Like this is going to get super gamed, and I'm actually really excited to watch this.
This is going to be amazing.
It's going to get real wild.
Yeah. They will tokenize your cards.
Yeah.
You can send
Yeah,
your
you
cards
get,
in.
I think 1% or something.
Yeah, you can send your cards in and they will tokenize them. I have cards that I want to tokenize. Like, this is insane. I am so excited for this. I got to find out if it's actually Niantic, though. Isn't that the company that owns Pokemon at the end of the day?
I
is
don't
Niantic?
know. I just know Wizard. So somebody owned it, and then Wizards of the Coast owned it.
Who
and
owns it? Let's
then
find out.
I don't know who owns it.
Who
I just know
owns
I have
Pokemon?
a Pikachu that came with the Scry magazine that has a Wizards of the Coast foil stamp on it, which I don't think is worth anything, but you could only get it with that magazine.
That whole argument against it being on the blockchain and gaming it, it's almost the question that was asked to Gary Gensler during his like testimony or whatever it was the other day. They were asking him like, if I sell you a Pokemon card, that's not a security. But if I sell you a Pokemon card on chain, is that a security? And he like couldn't answer it.
So I don't mean gaming it negatively. I mean more, exactly how many exist. It is a finite number that is defined.
I got you. So you're using
Versus with physical cards, you don't know how many still exist. Like, do you know how many people literally played with a Black Lotus or tore it or traded it for a Charizard or ended up in the trash? Like, this case, you know exactly what the supply is. You know exactly what the demand is. You know your value.
Know your value.
I mean, that would be amazing if all that could be on chain. I don't know if
It'd be
that's
fantastic.
even possible though.
It's
super
definitely
difficult.
possible. And it's why I've always found it very interesting how much specifically TCG digital players hate the idea of NFTs. Because like Arena, for example, I've pumped a fair bit of money into that. I know people have pumped thousands of dollars.
They're
into
already
it,
invested in
and
what
you
it is.
own
Nothing.
none of those cards.
Nothing.
Like they're tied to your account, but that's about it.
God, they would be pissed, huh? After
I
dropping
don't
all
think
that.
they'd be pissed.
You don't think?
I think it's a great idea, but like I mean, it is what it is.
We gotta
Or
find
like
out.
me as like, say, I'm a heavy control player and I don't like red cards, and I happen to get a bunch of like some of the rarest rare red cards. It'd be really nice to be able to move those on a secondary market and get what I want. Now you can do that with Magic Online, but you don't necessarily know how many cards there truly are, like how many of each version there are. So I don't know. I still like the idea of it long term.
Another huge point about this is a lot of the people that bought these cards, they really aren't crypto native people. They actually bought it with just a credit card. So it's bringing more people into like this crypto marketplace ecosystem of NFTs.
Yep. Getting the outside interest. That's what it's all about, man. That gets me excited. I'm gonna have to get one for my
Speaking
daughter.
of bullish, when ADA handles did their thing, I definitely bought TCG.
Did you really?
The ADA handle TCG, yeah, it was available. Or no,
Okay.
I think I minted it. Wasn't
That's
that when it was
crazy,
like 400 ADA or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I cannot believe nobody else did that. First, it was a 3-digit, like TCG trading card game, and then I can make the subsidiaries of all of those. Yeah,
yeah.
and
Someday
then
that might
Taco
be
and I are
worth a lot.
partial owners in a very special one that we'll reveal one day.
Yeah, keep that a secret.
Yeah, we're trying to pump that one.
Hey,
You better.
We bought Penis
Pump
Pump.
it.
Well, I think I'm gonna have to get a Pudgy Penguin and a Pokemon NFT now. That's what this means. That's a lot of NFTs. All of a sudden.
I was looking at my wallet. Take a guess. How many NFTs do you think I have?
469.
like 800.
589.
I mean, that's a little crazy, guys. I'm
All right,
not
200.
You have a lot of
100.
NFTs.
I probably have around 200.
See, there you go.
But obviously, a lot of them were rug pulls back in 2021. But over the course of like a year, 2 years, you're in the ecosystem. You see what was in the past that was not really good. You see people in the future doing the same thing, so you avoid that, and you kind of try and catch trends. And in the end of my NFT journey, I am up. Let's just put it that way.
Yo, Taco, I have a question. Have you heard of Rebase
I feel like I have, but
on
no.
Twitter? There's a few accounts that you've probably seen. People are like ambassadors on Twitter, but it is like a Pokemon Go crypto, like Web3 NFT version of Pokemon Go. Like I just downloaded it yesterday. I'm really trying to like
BJ, we need to figure
it out today. But I'm
It's
excited.
like a mobile game.
Yeah, it's in the App Store. I got it on the App Store on my iPhone, and it's called Rebase. And
Are they? That's
I'm
the question.
excited to learn more because there's a graph and like you have a little character, and I don't know. I'm like, if you can walk around and collect NFTs, that would be really fun.
They can't be just using the likeness of Pokemon without actual ownership or ability
It's not
to
the
be
same
given
thing.
them.
It's not the same thing.
It's different.
It's different. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
Pokemon could have done this,
Oh,
but they didn't. So Rebase came in, and I want to learn more. I still have to learn more, but Rebase on Twitter, that's the app.
Interesting. Rebase.
There's been so many NFT
Sounds like a
Web3
drug.
games that have come out in the last 2 weeks that my head is about to explode.
Don't
Yeah,
let
it's
it
got another
happen.
fry.
Don't need that. That one's been on the floor.
Oh God, we even went over time here. My God, we've been going hard. I might have to buy a bunch of NFTs. This is horrible. This is the worst day of my life right now. So it's Friday. I'm gonna go enjoy my weekend. I'm gonna chop some trees down. I got some work to do. Might have to kill a chicken or two. Just had some more born, and
You
I'm
have
at
to choke
capacity.
Wait,
Chicken?
real quick. Are you going to do that video while you're chopping down trees?
What the killing of the chickens while I'm chopping down a tree? Ooh, I
No,
could
no.
use
You said you were going to
that.
make a video, and then there's a Hillary Clinton picture involved, and
Oh, and an Algorand
And a
sign
shotgun and-
a bottle of Tannerite. Yes, I remember that idea. There's always time. That's always time.
Awesome.
Well, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Hannah, Taco, Mr. BJ, and the chaotic ghost of the machine himself, Owen. Got Bobby hanging out behind the screen looking just crazy as all.
It's
He
like
just-
a little sus-
I feel like he's about to bite one of us.
Crypto Nautic, Shady Bandito, Crimson Caravan Company, C90FTW. Stay golden. Enjoy your weekend. Hug your
Know
loved
your
ones.
worth.
And until Monday, au revoir.
Okay, bye.